What happened to Murray and Among Us? So we all know Murray is the king of Polis and one of the most powerful imposters to ever live. This imposter is so powerful that he controls the map of Polis. But what exactly happened to this powerful creature? While I was playing Among Us doing my task, I knew something strange was happening. I had the feeling that someone was watching me. I turned around and saw this mysterious crewmate. I was unsure whether this crewmate was doing his task or if he was just watching what I was doing. I decided that it would be better to ignore this crewmate because they were making me feel unsafe since I have never seen them before. I continued to do my task and walked by a couple of crewmates to make sure that they were safe, and also to keep myself safe from the strange crewmate I saw earlier. I could not help but wonder what the crewmate could be hiding. Could they just want my help, or are they the imposter and want to eliminate me? I played another match of Among Us, but this time I was the imposter and my role was a shapeshifter, which, as many of you know, is one of the harder roles to play in Among Us, because you have to confuse your enemy. I shapeshifted into Coral and got my first elimination, and then pretended to run away. But this is when things got really strange. While I was in the meeting, my game began to bug, and it was glitching a lot. I wasn't sure if this was some connection issue, or if some user was trying to enter my game. Of course, the crewmates fell for my trick, and they were sussing Coral. But for some reason, Coral was not ejected. There were still 2 imposters remaining, and my mission was to eliminate everyone. But that's when I noticed something. I began hearing noises from the left side of Polis, and me and Coral, which is the same player that I pretended to be earlier, we both saw a large arm come out of the vent. I've never seen this before, and right behind the arm was that mysterious crewmate that for some reason didn't have a username, which I found so strange. I checked vitals and one of the crewmates was dead, and it was totally not me. Maybe it was whatever creature is hiding inside of the vent. But on Polis, it's not really vents, it's more of a hole. I tried my best to seem less suspicious while I was talking to the crewmates. But just the thought of that purple crewmate that I saw next to the arm is really making me feel uncomfortable. Especially because we have another purple crewmate in the game. His name is SK. And if you play Among Us, you know that you can't play as the same color. Unless there's some sort of glitch, which I did experience earlier. Do you think that there could be a connection? I still had plenty of time to win this game of Among Us, but me and a bunch of crewmates, including my imposter friend, were hearing a bunch of noises coming from the bottom of the map, which is a large cave. We weren't really sure what that noise was, but we were all really confused, which is why we looked at each other. I was starting to get really worried about that large arm that I saw coming out of the hole. There's gotta be some sort of connection to that purple crewmate. I went to the laboratory and I watched a crewmate do a scan. I knew that I had to get rid of Banana or Coral, so that I had a chance to win this game. But things didn't end there. I began hearing more noises, but this time my screen began to glitch, and I thought that it would be a better idea to transform into Banana and play as another crewmate. Maybe that purple crewmate that I saw earlier won't eliminate me. I decided to eliminate Orange because he was being very suspicious. I had a feeling that maybe he could be working with Purple. The other Purple, the one that's being very sus. We were now back in the game, and I started to hear a noise outside. It sounded like a bunch of scratching. I then went outside with Yellow, and we both saw the large purple arm once again. But this time, we saw no purple crewmate. The lights turned off, but what I found really strange is that my screen went really dark. I could still see a little bit, but I don't know why the lights turned off for me if I'm the imposter. I knew that something was going to happen. and I needed to make sure that I could keep myself safe, and the best way to do that is to check the cameras. I began checking every single camera until I noticed something. In the large hole, I saw a large arm sticking out, but I also saw the hole on the left side have an arm as well. This creature is so large. I'm starting to connect the dots together. Could it be the King of Polis, Murray? I've always wondered what happened to him. Maybe he made a return to Among Us. I closed the cameras and I was debating whether to go check, but I knew that this was going to be a tall task. But I decided that it would be best to check the cameras, and let's see what we can find. I went back to the northeast cameras and I saw the large arm still sticking out. I'm starting to wonder if that purple crewmate I saw earlier was secretly Murray. Now I am very scared, because Murray is one of the most powerful imposters, and I needed to continue this investigation. After all those shenanigans, I was the imposter again. And this time, I knew that I had to find a way to get rid of Murray and completely get rid of that purple crewmate. SK was still in my game, so it's not him, it's Murray. I went back to the hole, and that's when Murray decided to stick his hand out and try to grab me and pull me in. But luckily, there was a body that was reported, and I let the crewmates know that I was scared. I was not trying to have this terrifying imposter drag me into his hole. Who knows what Murray would do to me down there? Most likely turn me into pieces. I was so grateful that the crewmate saved my life, but I knew that it wasn't over. I began glitching as I was walking around the map, and that's when I knew that Murray was definitely after me. And as I was about to enter the room, his arm was approaching me from behind, but luckily Blue called a meeting and saved my life. Murray was trying to grab me as I was entering that room, and he was trying to grab me from behind. He didn't think I was gonna see him. I was now back in the lobby, and I was really scared because Murray was definitely going to go after me. I tried to see if I could make a way out from the dropship, but that clearly didn't work. I was walking around Polis, and I heard someone writing outside. I then decided to take a look, and you won't believe what I encountered. There was a giant writing on the wall that said, "Turn around," and it was in red, signifying that there was a crewmate that was begging for help. I wonder who this crewmate might have been, and I don't see his body anywhere. I then heard a loud scream from behind me. It sounded like a monster. I then decided to take a look, and I saw the giant Murray. He was consuming the crewmate. It must be the one that was asking for help. So if you ever see Murray in Among Us, make sure to run.